Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles.
And I'm Bob.
It's good to see you, Bob.
Thank you. It's good to see you too.
Today I wanted to talk a little bit about energy vampires. We all encounter people in life who, after spending time with them, leave us feeling drained, exhausted, or emotionally depleted. These individuals can really get in the way of your self-development in a powerful and real way if you keep lots of company with these sorts. These characters are often referred to as energy vampires. While the term is metaphorical, it perfectly captures their ability to sap the energy and positivity from those around them, sometimes without realising it themselves. Spotting an energy vampire is crucial to maintaining your emotional and mental well-being.
I was thinking if one tooth is a tooth
Yes.
and one geese is a goose, doesn't that mean that one sheep is a shoop?
But what and who is an energy vampire? Energy vampires are individuals who feed off the emotional energy of others.
Would one be... So would a one be should be a boo, shouldn't it? Would that be a boo?
Thanks for that, Bob. They might constantly seek attention, demand emotional support without reciprocating, or engage in toxic behaviours that bring negativity into your life. Often these people are unaware of the impact they have on others, but their neediness or pessimism can take a toll on those they interact with regularly.
So they go out and ruin it for everyone. Well, geez, my back goes out more than I do.
Thanks for that, Bob.
That's all right.
So, common traits of
Okay, that's enough of that.
Common traits of energy vampires. Firstly, they bring with them this constant drama.
Drama.
Energy vampires often thrive in chaotic environments. They usually have personal love relationships that are out of control. Sometimes and usually, there are a lot of times that are worse than other times, but there's always problems of some sorts. They tend to attract people who have had traumatic lives and they've really never done the work to get past it. They just sort of keep on living these lives where they're just living vicariously through each other's lives if both partners say have got together, and they've not really sorted out where they've come from. It becomes their badge of honour, if you will. They only really appear to be interested in letting the world know all of their personal lives. They can have a propensity for threatening to leave. If you're a friend, they ring you to tell you the latest fallout.
You know, vampires have it exactly right.
They do.
Yeah, they've found the sleeping schedule that works for them. They avoid excessive sun exposure and only show up at someone's house if explicitly invited.
Well, Bob, not really the vampires I'm talking about, Bob, but thanks for your input.
It's all right.
I was on holiday with friends years ago and there was a lady there who had been saying how much she was looking forward to the break, how her closest friends were driving her nuts, but in saying that, she really did think a lot of these people. She felt like their issues had become her issues. No sooner as she'd said that and her mobile phone rang, she sighed loudly after seeing who it was, but then proceeded to take the call. She told me later that it was that friend with the drama. I did hear her saying as I walked away that she was on holiday. She was telling this person, look, I'm on holiday and I'm enjoying the relaxing and how much she needed this break. Her friend then blasted her with her latest series of problems, the whole production, who said what, who was going to do what, and she was stuck in that call for over an hour while we were all milling around her trying to avoid the energy that this call brought. Keeping in mind we were in a really peaceful location trying to enjoy our holiday, she was obviously really affected by the call, which had nothing actually to do with her life, her holiday, her trying to take time out. And we were affected by it because the call came with this heavy energy. I was privy to the fact that this person rang her on the regular. It was interesting, if nothing else, to see the power that these individuals unknowingly yield, which is what makes them so bloody dangerous. They're the worst kind.
Who are?
The energy vampires. They have no idea how they zap people of energy, of good vibes, how incredibly selfish they are, that they have to phone you, in this instance, on a very much needed holiday. So what's the answer here? Well, in this case, it's obvious as a nose on your face. Don't take the call. Just don't, because that sort will find someone else to bother. True words. It's not that you're particularly special to them, you're just an ear to hear the same ridiculousness. So let the energy vampire take a feed elsewhere. What are they going to do if you don't answer?
They'll say, how dare you not pick up the phone while on a quiet retreat so that I can maul your ears off with my bullshit?
Yeah? Exactly, Bob.
Oh, yeah, Merry bloody Christmas while we're at it as well, yeah.
They create or magnify problems, drawing others into their whirlwind of spectacle.
I was thinking about these energy vampires. While they don't bite, they're a pain in the neck. Get it? Nick?
Yeah, good one, Bob.
Yeah, I thought so, and thank you.
Hashtag energy vampires. Their lives seem like a never-ending series of crises, and they often rely on others to help fix things. Even when no solution seems satisfactory, your advice will always be a complete waste of time. And you know this. That's why they're sighing.
Yeah.
The energy vampire really just wanted to hear themselves complain to you, as they never change their outlook or choose awareness to not dump shit on you or others. Their so-called best friend, you know, your sister from another mister kind of scenario.
Yeah, I do. The more I think about it, yeah, I do.
People can drag you in by making you da-da-da-da-da-da-dum family. Red flag right there. Have to be cautious. We do need to let people prove themselves. Oh, Lordy, I know that one well. We aren't here long enough to be living unhappily. And sometimes their families are raving lunatics and they have bestowed on you the grand fortune of being family. And now that you're family, I will now blow your ears off with another round of embarrassing, ridiculous accounts of their day. No, wait, the first hour of their day.
23 hours to go.
And then there's the not listening to what you said, which might be you've told them you're tired, that, you know, you're concerned about your mother, your husband, your wife, your kids, your pimple, and then without a buy or leave, launch into their problems anyway.
That is not friendship.
This is an unpaid counsellor.
More like a pair of ears with a dress on.
Well, yes, Bob. That is being royally shat on from great heights under the title of friendship. Gets very 1975 when it comes to their excessive complaining. Everyone needs to vent sometimes, without a doubt. But energy vampires take complaining, or just take the floor, to a whole new level.
Hey, what's a vampire's favourite show? Big Fam Theory. You do know it's not about blood-seeking vampires, don't you? Yeah, but there are some similarities. Energy vampires suck the living life out of you.
Grand point, Bob. Overextending yourself doesn't make people appreciate you more, an energy vampire or otherwise. Do too much for people and they will simply expect it. It's maths, simple maths, and it's people. There are so many things outside our control. We can't stop a hurricane or prevent an earthquake, but we can help our fellow citizens and fellow human beings in the midst of one. Hashtag energy vampires. They really focus on solutions and instead seem to dwell on negativity.
I like a good dwell.
Correct, marble dweller. Conversations with them feel like an endless loop of complaints, leaving you feeling like you're carrying their burden.
No, your part-time job.
What do you mean?
Well, aside your full-time job, yeah, your life, their incessant need to be unhappy to carry that too.
Oh yeah, you're right, Bob. Good. Their self-centeredness as well, remarkable.
Why remarkable?
I think more than that, it's a sad moment because this is the basis of your say, in this instance, your friendship or relationship, which is trying to fix them, their problems, and thinking back, it's been this way for years and years, and now it's gone to a new level, so to speak. Remarkable from a standpoint that they don't recognise it, and if they do, clearly they do not care.
Oh, Godfathers, I need to do a full moon ritual, meditate, and align my chakras.
Me and you both, Bob. Pull out the sage, which takes you off task to your own desires and projects, your plans.
It's a little bit like introducing me. Let me tell you about me and more about my problems again, and more problems, which of course is bigger than your problems. What? You have problems? But wait, my problems first. I'm here to talk only about me.
I think you're onto something there, Bob.
Yeah, I think so too.
Energy vampires are often preoccupied with their own lives and problems, rarely showing genuine interest in others.
You don't say.
And as it turns out, yes, Bob. As a reminder, do whatever you need to do to free yourself from anything that is holding you back from being your best self. We only have one life to live, and you deserve to have an amazing experience on this planet. They may dominate conversations, leaving little space for others to speak or share. Any attempt to shift focus away from them is met with resistance or disinterest.
Oh, yeah, that's as true as.
Lack of accountability. Energy vampires often avoid taking responsibility for their actions, blaming others or external circumstances for their misfortune. This lack of accountability makes them hard to reason with or help, as they often refuse to acknowledge their own role in their difficulties.
Sounds awfully narcissistic to me.
Does, doesn't it, Bob? With emotional manipulation in there. Some energy vampires, they use guilt or other emotional tactics to keep you engaged. Now, if you're not in a good place, mindset-wise, it makes it for them easier to make their way into your life with all their crappy life stories. They may make you feel responsible for their happiness, like as in you're the only one that understands them and you're the only one that gives them really good advice, implying that, maybe, you really do need to consider stopping your life and supporting them. They could otherwise make you feel like you might be being uncaring or being a little bit selfish, or that things have changed. And this manipulation can make it difficult to set boundaries. They usually have been doing this for so long that they genuinely don't see what they do is a problem. You will be at fault and you will find yourself trying to talk about it. It will be a lesson learned, as in they will want you to learn your lesson. Again, negating anything they have done. Clearly something went wrong somewhere in their lives, but as always, it is up to ourselves to put energy into our own development. I reckon coming into these situations where you are with an energy vampire is another point in your development where you get to put into action what you know to be true for you. And in this case, it might be, no thanks, no can do. That old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink.
Huh?
Yeah, well, you can do anything in your power to help someone, Bob, but you can't force them to accept your help, no matter how much you are convinced that it will help them. Put that energy into you. Best investment you'll ever make. We can't be prey to them if we haven't worked on ourselves enough. We have to do a lot of work to get rid of the bully within.
What do you mean?
Well, we can be without realising that we are spouting things that our caregivers, parents said. So when the outside bully matches the inside bully, it can feel real.
Oh, wow. Never thought of it like that.
We've got to choose to be loving to ourselves too, and choose it every day. 2 words, your effort today can change tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. That's what I reckon.
That's right, Bob.
Me too.
These vampires can be so unhelpful in your day-to-day, a bit tricky when you're related to them or they've been in your friendship bubble for decades. Suddenly it seems that it has become untenable. Maybe it's been a slow burn, falling apart, and you're growing in a different direction. The future with them in it looks bleak. How is this friendship going to be able to survive the next steps? Maybe you don't see each other too much. It'll be okay, but the phone calls, the terrible calls, dripping in problems.
My son wanted to know what it was like to be a parent, so I woke him at 2 a.m. to tell him that my socks came off.
That'll do it. So here it is, the victim mentality. Energy vampires often see themselves as perpetual victims of their circumstances, believing that life is happening to them rather than taking an active role in their lives. So, spotting an energy vampire in its natural environment,
Like in your ear hole.
yeah, Bob, you'll notice your energy levels after those interactions. It's that physical or emotional drained feeling after spending time with this person. If so, this may be a sign of an energy vampire in your life. Pay attention to how you feel before and after your interactions with them. There are patterns of one-sided relationships. If you find yourself always giving and never receiving, you may be dealing with an energy vampire. I know we have all experienced that, not only in friendships, but in so many so-called love relationships.
That's why I say single.
What was that, Bob?
No, what I was trying to say is that's why I stay single as a Pringle.
A couple of once important friendships that I've had over the decades busted up simply because I was the glue. I was the one that picked up the phone. I was the one that remembered birthdays and other special events. I've just always had that memory. And because I was genuinely invested in the friendship and busy in other areas of my life, I had failed to notice that I was having the friendship sort of all by my lonesome.
Well, that's a bit sad.
Well, I didn't realise it at the time, but looking back, yeah, it was. So in one instance, I stopped calling just to see if the other person would call, to at least see if I died, passed away from a terrible malarkey as to why I hadn't called in 16 years. And lo and behold, the phone never rang.
No.
No, I had to get real honest with myself. Had always actually been that way. I'd met this friend when I was in my first business, had just bought my first home and just had my first baby. Life was happening. It was busy. And so this great girl, really smart and interesting, and she was actually the first friend I'd made since moving to Australia from New Zealand. So I really treasured our friendship. And I think she did for a while too, and life got in the way, as did geography. And so we were really, relying on phone calls to stay in touch. Living 10 hours away meant you had to get creative. Long story short, some shitty things happened to both of us. And looking back, it was in my hands again to maintain it. And after a while, it was decided
it's just
that
all
was
so
just the way
very
she
interesting.
was.
I mean,
Her
I'm just
words.
infused
So
with
that was that. I mean, as you grow as a person, you
enthusiasm.
decide what you will and will not put up with, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I would always be glad to see her very much. I would always be happy to see her. But we are all getting older now, and so time is not really on our side.
Yeah, because you're old.
That's right, Bob. But the absolute bottom line was it was my energy that was sustaining it, and I wasn't having it. Once I woke up to myself, she was probably trying to get rid of me, but I just wouldn't really go away. Oh, God. Who knows? But ultimately it got too bloody hard. No joy anymore anywhere to be found. So energy vampires. These individuals often make their problems the centre of every conversation and rarely offer support in return. And it can become an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, yeah, very true.
Energy vampires are experts at creating emotional highs and lows. They may shower you with attention or affection one moment, only to bring up past grievances or demand emotional labour the next. Not a good vibe at all. It leaves you feeling a bit uneasy. But don't forget about the guilt trips and manipulation.
All aboard for the guilt trip.
No thanks, Bob. If someone regularly makes you feel guilty for not doing enough for them, even when you've gone out of your way to help, they may be using emotional manipulation. Energy vampires often rely on guilt to keep others tethered to their emotional needs.
Oh, bugger that for a bloody joke.
That's right, my sentiments too, Bob. So how to protect yourself? You have to limit interaction and probably look at not being in that person's life, if that is possible. But limiting interaction is definitely a start. You just got to say no. If the energy vampire is someone you can't avoid, like a family member or co-worker, you can politely cut conversation short, change the subject, or steer the conversation maybe to something more positive.
What do priests say to get rid of insects in the church? Let us spray. Let us spray, yeah.
Oh, God, I'm choking, Bob, I'm choking. Again and always, we all need to focus on self-care. Dealing with energy vampires can be exhausting, so it's crucial to prioritise your own well-being. If you need time to recharge after being with them and you dread seeing them,
Red flag?
yeah, don't engage in their drama. Seek support from positive people. Surround yourself with positive, uplifting people, and that can really help to counterbalance the negative effects of energy vampires. And if that isn't a possibility, watch comedies. Lift yourself up, and laughing is so good for the soul. Puts everything in perspective, as does, say, long walks. If I ever have something that I'm trying to solve or sort out a unhappy state of mind, long walks at the end of it. I don't know how this works, but hey, tingle bingle, right at the end of it, I have a solution. And if not a solution, I really feel better and I feel more confident moving forward. So final thoughts here. Energy vampires can have a profound impact on your well-being if you don't recognise and manage their behaviour. By learning how to spot these individuals and implementing strategies to protect your energy, you can take control of your emotional health and maintain more balanced, fulfilling relationships. Energy vampires, the ones that are in it up to their fangs, are big on emotional manipulation.
So can we have some understanding about the motives behind it?
Well, yeah, Bob. The emotional manipulation is a form of psychological influence where someone uses deceit or exploitation to shape another person's thoughts, emotions, or behaviours.
Do you know what actually makes me smile?
Tell me, Bob.
My facial muscles.
Good on you, Bob. Now, this manipulation often occurs subtly, making it hard for the victim to recognise.
Hey, why do you smear peanut butter in the road? to go with the traffic jam.
Some reasons behind emotional manipulation is the attaining of control and power. At the heart of many
You can't say manipulative. Well, there you go. There, I said it for you.
Thank you, Bob.
That's all right.
At the heart of many manipulative behaviours lies a need for control. Emotional manipulators often feel insecure or powerless in their own lives. So, to compensate, they seek to dominate others.
Do you know that if you say to be born to be chicken, too clever to be chicken and whisper it, you sound like you're beatboxing?
No, I didn't know that, Bob. Let's hear it. To be born, to be chicken, to clever, to be chicken, to be born, to be chicken, to clever, to be chicken. Oh, Bob, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was pretty awesome myself. If I'm ever out and someone says, hey, is there a beatboxer in the house? I'll say, here I be, here I be.
Energy vampires may try to make their victims feel guilty, dependent, or unsure of themselves to maintain the upper hand in the relationship. If this hasn't happened to you, you will know, or you would have most definitely observed this sort.
Hey, what did the cupcake tell its frosting? I'd be muffin without you. Get it, muffin? Muffin without you? Yeah. Woo! But wait, there's more. What do you call cheese that's not your cheese? Nacho cheese!
That's good, Bob. Insecurity is a significant driver behind manipulation. These behaviours can be a learnt response from past trauma or unresolved emotional wounds. By making others dependent or emotionally unstable, the manipulator feels less threatened by the possibility of rejection or loss.
Oh boy, that sucks. I hate my job. All I do is crush cans all day. It's just so depressing.
Well, you know, the energy vampires, they may have witnessed emotional coercion as a way to get what they want and avoid punishment. So they might be just mirroring that behaviour, and they may not have enough awareness to know that they can change that behaviour. And you, with your awareness, can choose to not be manipulated.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Me too, Bob. Yeah. Energy vampires and their lack of empathy.
My boss asked me, how is it I only get sick on weekdays? I told him it must be my weekend immune system.
Some manipulators lack the ability to understand or relate to the emotions of others. This deficit, whether due to a personality disorder like narcissism, leads them to view people as tools to meet their needs. Without empathy, they don't experience guilt or remorse for exploiting others emotionally. They figure that that is fair game.
Pretty ordinary, I reckon.
Energy vampires hold a desire to avoid responsibility.
Hey, what do you get when you drop a piano down a mine shaft? A flat miner.
The consequences of emotional manipulation can leave lasting damage on those targeted. Victims often experience self-doubt, emotional exhaustion. Recognising and breaking free. Recognising this, it's just really, honestly, it is the first step in breaking free from the grip, realising that if someone constantly invalidates your feelings, twists your words, or uses guilt and blame to control you, these are red flags.
Run, for God's sake, run!
Energy suckers, also known as energy vampires, are individuals or situations that drain your mental, emotional, sometimes even physical energy.
Yeah, dump them!
One of the most effective ways to shield yourself is by setting clear, firm boundaries if you can. Decide how much time and energy you're willing to spend in certain relationships. And you know, it's okay to say, I understand you're going through a tough time, but I need to take care of myself right now. Or I can only talk for a few minutes, so let's catch up more later. Remember, boundaries aren't just about saying no to others, but it's all about saying yes to yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely McDoodly.
So when we are practicing emotional detachment, you come to understand that not every problem is yours to solve.
Very liberating, I'd imagine you'd say.
I agree, Bob. I agree. All right, marble dwellers, that's a wrap on energy vampires.
Oh no, I was just getting comfy.
Remember, we have the power to protect our energy, to set boundaries, and fill our lives with people and experiences that uplift us. This is another key towards the development of self. The next time you feel drained or notice someone's pulling you down, take a step back, recharge, and remind yourself you deserve relationships that energize and support you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget, a balanced life means knowing when to give and when to guard your own peace. Until next time, say good day to the family for me, give the Netherland dwarf rabbit a hug, and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then, bye.
Bye.